That's the spirit. And Christian, I have something for you. Ta-da.
Thank you. So first, thank you to my previous speaker, to Dr. Xu. So great segue to my presentation right now. She talked about strategy. She talked about AI platforms in the stack. And by the end of this session, in 20 minutes or so, you will have a very practical guide, a very practical blueprint, how to build your own AI-grade production environment, and with a very practical checklist, which is giving you a clear understanding, okay, what I need to do, and where I'm actually very good at. So if you believe it or not, 3 years ago, it was super tough to talk with organizations about AI. 2 years ago, every executive I spoke to said, hey, I have a generative AI agenda, but they don't. So, but AI is, as you know, much more than just ChatGPT, and behind me you see the broad universe of different simulations, optimization, machine learning, all the things we're doing today. We separate AI into 3 distinct markets. The first market is the pre-Gen AI market, and this market was created 30 years ago from now. So this was about highly specified use cases, and we know about 2,500 use cases of those. Every use case needs an own architecture and was bringing quite good business value. The second market, this is the LLM market. So we created large language models based on a huge amount of data and with tens and hundreds of millions of investments. So this was a huge endeavor organizations did over the last 2 years. The outcome, great, versatile, high quality LLMs we're using today to making our life easier. So helping with chatbots, writing text, creating pictures, doing lots of stuff, and organizations are using that to improve efficiency kind of bit. And now we are coming to the enterprise market, and this market is about really creating business outcome, which is bringing organizations to another level, not just optimizing stuff, so really creating new products or creating a better process, giving speed to an organization to really leapfrog and outperform competitions. And a new paradigm is coming up right now. This is what we're seeing coming at space. This is agentic inferencing. And what is it? Think about a simple procurement manager. Think about, and let's call her Anna. Anna's responsibility today is just purchasing stuff, monitoring performance, and renegotiate contracts whenever needed. And now think about Anna's working with agents. An agent is looking continuously what the market is doing. The other agent is monitoring price fluctuations. Even other agent is looking on the contracts we have with the vendors. And even another agent is making negotiation recommendations to get better prices, to get a better supply performance, etc. And everything has been done even before Anna woke up in the morning and opened her laptop. And now think about every organizational process improved like that. So this is not just making Anna more efficient and give her more purchasing demand. It's about bringing the whole organization to a next level, and this is what we're talking about now. But to get there, AI is not just a fluffy tool, it's not just one tool we are using. There are core capabilities organizations need to master. This is what we saw over the last 2 years. And let me give you another story about how to master these capabilities. Think about a program manager or a product manager. And the product manager, we call her Lisa. And Lisa's task is to bring a new product into the market. And she's using AI with that. And what are the capabilities the organizations need to master? First of all, bring more context to the LLMs. So standard LLM is just knowing 1% of the organizational knowledge organizations have today. So they need to bring all the corporate data which were selected over the last decades in the organization to the LLM. We're doing this with RAG, or we are fine-tuning models, etc. So these are the capabilities you need to master. And now Lisa needs to create some collateral for bringing this product into the market, for marketing, for press releases, for, let's say, a quality management, or for customer service. And she's creating this. And then we have other capabilities like, what are the right data to use? And this is the biggest hurdle we see today. What data to trust, and who's able to access these data? Which agents, which AI models are allowed to access which data? So these are data management agents we're using today. And Lisa, she's not a programmer. However, it's very simple for her to create new applications which are helping her or helping quality management to have a chatbot, easy chatbot to interact with customers. And then you need to monitor the performance of a product. So is a product going in the right direction or is it not? What should you do? And now you're having a deep field of analyzing your performance against competitors, etc. So analytics agents. And last but not least, you have lots of infrastructure in your organization, not only the data center, but only in production, on assembly lines, and optimizing the assets you already purchased, the assets who are really bringing value to your organization. This is AIOps, optimizing what you're doing. And if you master all these things, you're getting advanced. You're doing more than just pilots. And here, a quick question. Who of you, raise your hands, have seen a great demo on a laptop, but never saw it in production, never hit it around running? Okay, 1, 2. Okay, lots of you. And this is a very common theme we saw over the last 2 years. So we saw lots of initiatives, and I spoke to a manufacturing company, and he said, okay, we created a great AI application for predictive maintenance for our organization. We have some pilots in HR to support our HR team, and that was great, so nothing to say about that. But then I talked to the IT department, and they didn't know. They didn't know about these initiatives. So this is the common theme, so that we have a disalignment in organizations. So the IT department, they have a governance, they know how to secure the information of the organization, and they have a treasure of data which should be used in order to make the use cases better. And when I asked the manufacturing guy, hey, how did you do that, or why did you do that? Yeah, we just want to start with AI. And right now, I'm a deep believer in that we're not lacking on talent, we're not lacking on tools, we just need to align to a common strategy. And the strategy is what's missing in most organizations. And therefore, we are systematically tackle the strategy with a strategy house. And this is not a model, this is kind of a mirror. So take a picture and really compare this, what you're doing at home. This is a mirror which is telling you where are you today. And like a normal house, you shouldn't start with the roof, and you shouldn't start putting furniture into the house. You need to start with the fundamental things. And this is the strategy, so the vision, where you want to start. What is really the things you need to achieve? And then you need to get the right use cases. And then you need to build a foundation which is able to scale based on the right culture, based on data, based on technology, and an ecosystem, because nobody in the entire industry is able to do this alone. And then you need the execution. So you need a board decision, you need some power in the organization to actually make it done. And I will guide you through these different layers. This would be the red threads throughout the next minutes, and you will see how this really is a tangible approach to get an AI-grade or a production-grade AI environment. And let me start by a quick example. Think about a company. Let's take the company I'm working for. More than 100 billion in revenue, 100,000 people working there, more than 2,000 applications. 1 exabyte of data we are using right now. We have more than 500 AI programs going forward, 2,000 applications, so very complex. And I'm a technician by heart, I love technology, but we didn't start with technology, we're starting with a strategy. And this strategy was really about, hey, we asked two questions. The first question was what we need to do? This was a top-down approach. What makes us special as an organization? So if you're crafting an AI strategy, you need to ask these things first. What makes us special as an organization? What are the processes which are supporting our advantage? And are these processes really able to improve by the use of AI, etc.? So you need to have this process first. And the second process is really practical. How do you do this? So coming bottom up, and we made a survey with lots of employees, and we are coming up with more than 1,000 use cases, and we didn't implement it all. So you don't need 1,000, you don't need 100, you not just need 10 or less use cases to really bring your organization to a next level. And this is what we've done. So we identified patterns, and then we looked, do we have the right data to supporting these use cases? We have the right data foundation, and then finally you're deciding on an application, you're deciding on a tool. So this is easy. Are you going to do it by yourself, or are you buying this? And then you're matching this. So we're coming back to the six capabilities. Are you really able to leverage the six capabilities, all of them, to bring these AI initiatives forward? So as an example, what we came up with was there are only 4 strategic areas where we think we are really good at. This is differentiating us from the market, and we need to improve those 4. And this is what we've done in go-to-market, in services, in research and development, and in our supply chain. We are the leading supply chain in the industry. And we came up with a easy sales chat for our salespeople to connecting all the information we have in our organization, that they are really able to get lots of information, improving the time to preparing customer meetings, getting all the documents together. What is the customer right now doing? What's the industry? What is the financial report of this customer saying compared to what we are offering? Very compelling and saves lots of time of every employee, but it wasn't easy. So I was in this project for quite a while. We went live in March this year. It was easy to find a tool. It was easy to find the stack, but getting the data right was the real problem. And the acceptance of the people was depending on how good is the outcome. So we put lots of in reinforced learning, looking at the answers, and really made the database better, made the data better. So we have now a acceptance or a usage rate of more than 96% of our people using this more than 4 times a day. So this was a huge success. And with a server, and this is also something you need to do, measuring the outcome. With a server, every other month, we're looking how much time our people spending on what, and what is the real tangible outcome. And another view to look at this is the AI vision. So looking at not only bigger strategy, looking at, are you really going to improve a product or creating a new product to create new revenue streams, or do you want to improve your processes in your organization? And you need to be very clear in what you are going to do. So it could be either this or this way. There's nothing worse or better, but you need to decide. And the second level of the AI strategy house, you have to boil down the use cases. And boiling down use cases to the use cases which are really bringing you forward, we are working, not limited to, but we're working together, for instance, with Applied AI. I think most of you know this. It's an AI initiative, very successful one in Germany, backed by industry, by government, by education. And we're doing workshops together with them. And these workshops are very practical, and they're showing where to focus. And we are looking at the demand side. So what is really needed for your organization, looking at different processes, the customer journey, for instance, looking at a process map, and benchmarking this against the industry, and also leveraging own KPIs. And on the other side, you're looking at the supply side. So what are you able to provide as an organization to make this use case happen? So the AI capabilities, coming back to the first slide, with the 6 capabilities, and also looking at what data are available today. And where these demand and supply are meeting, these are the use cases you should tackle, and you should have a long breath to work them through. And this is really bringing you really competitive advantage. Next thing, Applied AI is providing a repository of lots of use cases. They are already leveraged. You can use this. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Use what others already done and learn quick. And then you're coming to the how to implement these use cases. Typical projects are linear. You're starting a project, then there's lots of huddle in the middle of this project, then you're delivering this project, and off you go. But AI projects are different. They're a loop, and you have really to continue use case by use case in your organization. It's starting with assess the differentiators, and then you need to determine which process to improve with AI. Then you need to discover patterns. And then you're coming up with hey, what's the data foundation I can use? So this is, as you remember, the left side of the bottom-up approach. The next step, you're choosing the right capabilities in your organization, and then you're implementing the tools, which is quite simple, the tooling. So you have lots of tools in the market today, choosing the right one, off you go, measure the return, and after measuring the return, you need to scale. So in our examples, we tested this with a bunch of hundred of users, but at the point we put more than 30,000 people on this environment, you need to scale. You need to scale, and by that time, you had lots of information, what's working, what's not, which data are good, which data are bad, and you have to do this reinforced learning. You have to improve your environment, and your platform must be ready for scaling. So just having something in a pilot running for 100 people, that's a piece of cake. But really bringing this into production and having this full advantage, this is something you need to do. And once you've done with that, you need to assess the differentiators. Okay, what's next? And this continuous loop is something we implemented very successful with our own organization and with other organizations. So this is the hard part, but I'm feeling very comfortable there. So I'm a technician. I love this. I love technology, speaking about this. But this is more about, not only about technology, that's about culture. Culture, data, getting the technology right, and the ecosystem. So getting the culture right. I have an organization, 100 plus people, lots of management structures, and really training these managers, giving them the experience how to use AI, how to make market research, how to leverage AI to make their day-to-day job better. This is really the hard part. You can do this with encouraging them, you can do this with education, but this is something which needs to be part of your plan. You need to get your data right. I had yesterday a long discussion with lots of head of AI in Vienna, and this was about the awareness of data. So data are the real problem. Which data to trust? In an example of the product manager, what's the right spec features of this product? Is it the one which the R&D department has created? Is it what the marketing team put on the website? Is it something which the customer support has created? And think about, these information are not the same. They are interpreted in a different way. So you need to have really good data products to leverage. And these data products together, creating a data pipeline, which are firing then use cases. So this is the crucial one. Technology, of course, I will come to this. You need to have a stable platform which is able to do that, and an ecosystem you can leverage. So on all these layers, there's no one company you can do this all, but you need an ecosystem which is working. Coming to technology, AI platforms, what are the areas to concern? So AI is not running on any software. This is running on infrastructure. So you can say, let's run it on cloud. We see that customers running inferencing on premise on a physical server in their data center, they're saving 75% of their costs. So when you're scaling to 1,000, 10,000 people, cloud services becoming super, super expensive. And you have latency and all these things going on, so you need these 8-way big GPU systems to run this. We have right now situations investing in an AI platform on premise, having a model, a platform. You have an ROI within 12 months. So within a 12 months, you are much way of what you are paying for different models of the hyperscaler, but you need to do it right. The second thing is about data. 80% of the data today are sitting in the real world, sitting on premise in corporations, and 50% of the data created new, they're still sitting in the real world. So you need to bring your AI where the data are. So in your production lines, in where you're manufacturing, you need to bring your AI there on the edge. And this is about the location. Bring your AI where the data is. Now, we are coming to a slide with lots of blocks and fields, so don't get distracted by this. This is how a real production AI, a great AI system is looking like. So on the left-hand side here, you see the sources. You want to leverage as many sources as possible. Your own sources in the organization, structured data and databases, Teradata, Oracle, whatsoever. That's the easy part. Unstructured, Hadoop clusters, things you like to leverage. Then you're looking at IoT data. You're looking at surveillance information. You might need to connect HR information, who was on the conveyor belt at what time to get a new insight of some optimization. Social media information from the outside. So lots of information you want to integrate. You want to have robust data products. The second layer is, with these diversity on information, there comes complexity. So you need to manage this complexity, which is the data platform. So in this data platform, you need to create data contracts. So I can trust those data and forward this to my AI model. Or you need to have federated queries. From these sources, I want to have a continuous stream of information for these use cases. This is what a data platform is doing. Or creating vector databases, which is technically wise the way how you bring data into your LLM. So your data, putting into vector database, put it into LLM. This is what we're calling the RAG mechanism. This is one of the capabilities of the 6 you need to master. So that's the data platform. Then in the middle, you have your environment, the muzzle. This is something where you run the models, where you run all the inferences. You need to have a virtualized infrastructure, small instances. NVIDIA is helping us on that. So they have a great enterprise platform you can leverage. So where you're putting all your different use cases on these platforms. That's the next level. And then you have a model hub. So you don't use just one model on-premise. Use several models in your organization and have a model hub which is helping you to, okay, this model is now fine-tuned from this department. In this model you had added this. There's a lifecycle management for the models, and you're customizing what you're doing there. And you have your own governance and compliance into this, so you need to get sure that these models are, best case, not biased, so that you take all the failures people done in the past are baked into the model. So you also have to have a look on this. So corporate compliance is also important here. And then you need to operate this. And this is ideally operated by the IT team. They know how to do that. They know how to lifecycle that. They know how to make A/B testing in this environment. And this is the next thing. And everything, as you see, is based on a common strategy. It's based on an organizational governance. You need to drive this. Sounds complex? It isn't. So that's the easiest part to get there. This is as close as we can get to an easy button. This is the Dell AI Factory. We built this together with NVIDIA. Data coming in on the one side, ready use cases are leaving this factory on the other side, based on a solid infrastructure. So we have a validated solution. We have a reference architecture, so you can really start very quickly to make this happen. The ecosystem in the middle. So for instance, we're working together with Hugging Face. We have an own portal where you can download lots of access to libraries, where you can download different models, so that you have a model in production very fast. So our system engineers, if they're implementing this on-premise as a demo, hey, they can do it in 30 minutes. Give us a server. We're implementing this with that framework in minutes, so that you see how a production-grade environment is starting. And the services who are supporting organizations in every step of this journey. And then, hopefully, you have the use cases which are really firing up your organization. Final slide, as I said, the checklist. This is something you need to look at. So if you're starting with your AI environment, there's a huge checklist of the stack you need to know. So from infrastructure, cooling, power, the right GPUs, how to get the right network running to make this happen, to you getting your data right, building a data platform, what are the data contracts, the data platforms. So, and for every layer, there are specialists. Some of those are in our organization, some of those are partners for us. And we have a very detailed list which of the players in the market today fit into which areas. So speak to us. Speak to us and start the conversation. So wherever you are, wherever you're struggling, and this is not a model, this is a mirror. So think about where are your gaps and where you need support. And speak to us, finding the right people in that environment. So up to the use case builders. So the winners in this market are not the ones who are building the big models and have the fanciest tools. It's the organization who really have a clear goal, working towards it, and having a platform which is able to scale. Because AI is not a project, it's a flywheel. And it's turning faster the more you put into this. So, hard for me to say this, don't start with technology, start with a business goal worth scaling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christian. Do we have questions from the audience? I had 2 questions, and you answered them both. One was about the pilots and how to get this actually to real scale. Yeah. You talked about the bottom-up side, but also about, you also talked about cultures. And I would like to know, when you look into teams, like how do you overcome the cultural aspect? The cultural aspect of there is AI, why do we really have to use that? I mean, you're not in an SME, but you work with SMEs, and SMEs in Germany are the backbone of our country, and a lot of them are saying, I don't need AI.
And it's about, so there's a saying, if you want to build the best boats, don't teach your people how to be the best woodworker. Just give them the love for the sea. And so they're building the best boats. And this is, in my organization, we have always, in every organization, 10-20% of the ones who are really eager to try something new, to start. And start with them. Start with them and try something, show the results, and then from then go there. And for the last 10-20%, okay, you need to have an education path, you need to take them on the hand and show this. So they're always the people who are advanced, and they're always the laggers, and you have to manage this. This is just a management task you need to do.
So it also, you said earlier, boil down the use cases. You now also boil down the people that you can work with in the organization.
Absolutely.
And they try to
find the believers and work with them, and then you create miracle things. You don't need 100 people, you just need 5. You're really working together, and then you can create something super special.
Can I ask, in your team, is this an interdisciplinary team, or is everybody coming from the tech side?
No, they are not techies, so they're all salespeople. They love technology, yes, but we are working together with other departments. We just started this, and I'm just sneaked myself into this project team and try to listen, to learn, and so I just spread the virus in my organization. So people starting using this, and it's fun. So you see results. We are sharing these things. So culture is a super important part.
I think that's a really nice way to end that. You have to have a lot of fun. And there is a question.
Hi, I'm Gudrun Magnusdottir from Esteem. I've been 30 years in AI. Yeah, I look at, come on guys. So basically, I'm totally in agreement with what you're saying. This is why we just, this is actually a shameless PR. This year we launched LangOps Core, a platform that caters to multilingual AI and has the interaction with LLMs, knowledge graphs, and actually a agentic, or shall we say an AI tool layer. So I firmly believe in your hypothesis that we need to think on the basis of platforms that can interact with LLMs. I see LLMs after 30 years as simply an alphabet. It's a new programming dialogue, end of story. To build something, I need something more. Yes. And that is what we wanted at Esteem to underpin. And so look up esteem.se, because we're a Swedish company. And in there we have LangOps Core. And please communicate with my CEO, he's here somewhere, probably not in this room, he's in the other one, Jochen Hummel, he's German. And we also have a German company, which is a knowledge graph company. So these are the combinations that we believe very strongly in, and also the way that Dell is moving forward. I really like this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're going to be my best friend.
Oh.
I'm the CTO of them.
Okay. Oh, Philippe.
Can you get this?
Yeah.
The card with the... Oh, sorry. I have very hard time standing.
Thank you also
for
your presentation. I really enjoy it. My name is Philippe de Castro Soeiro. I'm president of XU, Exponential University. And we are very focused on digitization. AI is certainly one of the areas we study and make research. And in our teaching, we have a great deal of project-based learning with companies. Now, one of the main questions that come up to our meetings and to our lectures is how do you demonstrate, for example, specifically by using generative AI, demonstrate the increase of performance in companies. So let's imagine that I'm representing any SME here in Germany, or you can even choose a large corporate organization. I will not put names on it because that could sound awkward. But let me ask you in a pragmatical way. So if I'm a manager in such a company, how would you convince me to set up the business case? What would be the key performance indicators on a practical way that you would set up and you would say, by monitoring, by managing, we can fix these goals, we can reach these targets in 6 months, in 12 months. Either you choose, I don't know, customer service area or product innovation or manufacturing. Thank you.
So the question is about how we manage performance, how we monitor performance to really convince
demonstrate
business owners,
so that it doesn't work only on the computer, but really on real life.
Yeah. So it's about measuring. So where are you today? where you want to go. There's a goal, there are KPIs behind that. You're boiling down these KPIs and sub-KPIs, and then you're managing those. So, for instance, we are working in customer service with an AI chatbot, which is next best action. So we leveraged all our customer engagements over the last decade. What was the action in a certain situation? What is the best next action to do? And then we're measuring the time this incident was solved, the quality feedback we received from the customer. Was it timely? Was it correct? Was there further concessions we had to make because we maybe not been able to answer these things? So there are different KPIs which are leading us into a way, okay, our customer service has become better in terms of faster, better outcome, and more cost efficient, time efficient whatsoever. So there are always KPIs behind that, and we are, as Dell, we are keen to measuring KPIs and doing this. Or another example, getting time back to the team. So we are saying you have 30% more time doing more valuable stuff. So we are doing surveys every other month, how our sales team, for instance, is spending their time. Searching for information, traveling, doing whatsoever, and doing these surveys, we see how the implementation of the next tool, of the next Gen AI application help them to save more time. So we are trying to quantify this in a way with surveys, KPIs we are measuring, etc.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time, and that was the first question. Sorry,
Just very quick, I love the presentation. As an autistic person, I love also a lot of data and structure and colors, amazing. The only
Right
thing where I just wondering if the last sentence, I might slightly disagree, because don't you think it's, from an emotional standpoint, smarter to start with a business pain point worth eliminating? Because my experience is that people, as the lady before said, don't, like most employees, they don't want to learn AI because it's another thing they have to learn. And I think if you just, as you just said now, maybe it's Erbsenzählen what I'm doing right now. Yeah. But I think just to get it sold in, because the executives, they always want it, but most employees, because I teach also AI, is like, yeah, I'm going to do it because I have to and smile, but I don't actually want to do it.
Yeah. So fully agree.
If it's only a comment.
The experience from the last weeks, recent weeks, I had with lots of organizations in discussion. The ones who are in charge for AI, they're, also in Germany, they're a bit unsure how to start this. They're starting with small use cases, proving the value of the small use case, starting the next one. But this is improving. At this example, Anna, as a purchasing manager, is becoming a bit more efficient. So she can do 20% more. This is not efficient. So bring organizations to the next level. So rechange bigger processes, creating new products. So organizations are hesitating today to making a really big step. And an interesting finding was organizations who are investing in times of crisis are going out of the crisis exponentially better than other organizations who don't, who just keep their money together. And this is the point in time we are today. Be brave, investing. And I like your phrase, looking at a business problem to solve. Maybe it's a better way to talk to C-suite to get this done, yeah. Thank you.
Cutting costs is not a strategy to rise, right? Last words, Johan, as his CTO?
Oh. So, same company, Chief Technology Officer for AI Solutions, so that's why. Ecosystem, that's me. Two comments on the previous questions. One for you was, how do I move the organization? We've seen this before. Digital transformation, we've all been there, anything. C-level says, we're doing this. And everybody needs to follow, and we're going to put you all into a training in it, and you're all going to do this. And guess what's going to happen? Nothing's happening. There's a nice theory from the military and other things. Find a couple of people, and this is interesting, this is a KPI thing as well. Find a couple of people in your company that say, I'm going to do this because I want. They're not asking you for, do I get paid more? Do I get overtime paid or whatever? It's probably about 5% of your organization that are people that are taking that torch, that light, and go. And guess what's going to happen when the first leader like Christian has a result on this and say, I'm AI. Everybody else goes, why is he getting this and not me? That's the culture thing. But good thing for you, for all of you. First of all, we launched a format in Germany for CIOs or C-level, 1.5 hours once a month, 3 people live on a webinar, ask any question about this.
Thank you.
Find me on
That's
LinkedIn. The Professor Georg Kraus from Clausthal and the former CIO of Continental, 3 of us just on stage, just you ask any question. The second thing, we've written a couple of white papers, what C-level need to do. It's all open source, so anybody who writes stuff, use it, it's open source, we're not paying for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we close that, and thank you for giving me the torch, because I have to hand it over to the next speaker. Thank you, Christian. Yes, round of applause.